Hello there everyone, my name is Rinehart and today I'll be discussing over on the problems that consist of our food supply decrease. Please enjoy the presentation. So, as you can see here, the problem that I propose to you all is the decrease of the foods that we eat. For some time we have had many instances where certain foods that would always be in stock just never there. However, the cause of this is not the delivery, but a harmful impact right in our supplies that situations have had on them, and where we get our foods from, as well as not everything can grow here in North Carolina as well. As we see here, I have a few examples to show of what sorts of problems have increased on the food supply problem. It doesn't really look too pretty now, does it? Here we have the food waste that we do not eat because it either gets too old, which is usually fine, or that we just end up buying so much of it to where we result in throwing it away for some reason, which really we shouldn't be doing. And then there's climate change and how it's been destroying the soils where crops grow, causing them to die out. As we can see, there are situations that can harm the agriculture of the planet and destroy the food supply habits that we have. And we'll be going over each of these problems now. Up first is our most friendliest subject of all time, climate change. Yeah, we all know it, and its horrible impact on our planet. But don't forget, we're looking to the food agriculture here of climate change for this one, as climate change destroys habitats and causes them to change from what they once were, such as coffee trees. As well, I'm very sure a lot of you drink coffee. I personally don't. But it's still not a good thing for them to decrease either way. This is a highly deadly to the foods that we eat, as sudden changes in these habitats can completely destroy what's living there and eventually die out due to the change of its environment. Because of the changes that have been in the soil and the crops or the sea for the fish, is completely destroyed most of the supplies of our foods. Now we will be looking at location of foods and how they affect the supply. As stated before, not everything grows in North Carolina, or a lot of places for that matter. For example, avocados. Again, that's something very popular in North Carolina, despite me not liking, but I can understand why people love it so much. Once Mexico has these avocados, they distribute it across different places, such as North Carolina, where it is popular. But with the supply going to us, it leaves a decline of avocados for the locals in Mexico who can have a decline in supply there instead. And because of this, we can't always have the foods that we want. Now, here we have landfills, which is a highly ongoing cause for climate change to increase as well with that. These landfills come right out of the food waste that we do not eat because we just waste them away whenever they get old and they get thrown away, build up into the landfills to destroy agriculture to prevent anything else from growing around it. Which is kind of disappointing because we end up buying more than we can chew, on which is not smart eating for any of us. Because in America, we can produce up to 35 billion foods, but a lot of it gets thrown away, which can fill up the Rose Bowl Stadium, in fact. But despite there being so much negatives of this subject, there have been positives as well on how we can be able to solve a solution like this as well. People have come up with many ways on how we can be able to fight back against food decline and have a much more stable plan. We can be able to encourage others to try to eat more local foods grown from farmers, because if we do support the local farmers with their growth, then that will be able to help them out for their jobs, let them keep it, and be able to thrive to even grow even more foods than they can imagine, and to have then other areas go out and do the same thing and be able to support each other at the same time. And then there's also composting, which is a greatly highly effective way of helping our foods grow. And instead of throwing away foods, instead, we can be able to compost them to turn into this stuff. And with that, we can still once again be able to keep growing more foods and provide for our future. Food supply hasn't decreased a lot of times lately and could affect our dietary and nutrition and affect other problems that are stated at hand, such as climate change, the locations of where they rarely grow, and even the landfills of our wastes that we irresponsibly put out. However, we now have solutions to these, such as the composting and local eatery, that can help us out in the local North Carolina and eat smarter because of this. And that's all I have for you today. And if you're interested in knowing more, here are some of the links that I looked into when doing this. And you can even look into some more yourself if you feel interested in it. But that's the end of this one. Thank you for watching and have a great summer, please.